You are listening to the Growing Small Town Show, a podcast dedicated to supporting you, the person who really cares about the future of your small town. We believe when people get better, everything gets better, and our episodes offer the ideas and actions that prioritize people and small communities. Thank you for listening. We're so glad you're here. Our guest on today's episode is Tesa Klein of Wildflowers. Wildflowers is an eclectic decor store, I guess is what I would call it. Tesa does a fantastic job of really channeling her creativity and her genuine cowgirl attitude and lifestyle. She lives on a cattle ranch. She shares a bit about being in the professional rodeo scene for a handful of years and also just navigating that creative landscape amidst the challenges of actually having all these other things to do, right? Like raising animals, being the wife to a rancher, and just how she stayed in touch with herself. We talk a lot of the threads of this episode talk about staying really true to your why, coming back to your reason for starting your thing, and never letting it go, even though it may evolve and change and shift over time as well. Tesa is just one of those people that I feel really lucky to know. She's about as good as they come, and you're going to love it. And I can't wait to share with you the post that we talk about that actually went viral, and she had to deal with that and just how she dealt with that. There's amazing things we all can do from our own corners of the world, and Tesa is here to prove it. So please enjoy this episode with Tesa Klein. Well, hey, Tesa.
Hey.
Welcome to Oaks and the podcast studio and the show.
It is fancy.
Thanks. It's a lightweight setup, but we're proud of it. So
I don't know any different. So
yeah, it's good. It's so good to have you over here. So we just had a quick little vendor experience, and so we're here to talk about business and life and doing it all in a small town.
Love it. Thank you for having me.
Oh, so happy to have you. So why don't we just start with kind of wherever you want to start from a background perspective on your business. Because you were just saying to me that 2025 has been a pivotal year, like a year of big growth for your business. But where did it start? What are you all involved in? We'll start there and then we'll just go and see what happens.
Okay. From the beginning, I married a cowboy like 30 miles down the river. So I needed a job, and I brought the flower shop to that. And I built that from the ground up, and then walked away from that 10 years later and into rodeo. And then like another 10, 12 years later, walked away from rodeo, and now my business, Wildflowers, is back on the front burner. Like I've kicked it off the back and put it on the front, and we're simmering and sometimes boiling at points.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay, so a couple things. I'm going to go back to I married a cowboy 30 miles down the river. Like down the river from where? From here? From where we're actually at? From where you lived?
Adrian, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I was 30 miles up the river is how I say it, but yeah.
Well, yeah, you were up the river and he was down, obviously. Yes. So for those that don't know, because again, we have listeners from all over the place, how big is the town that we're talking about that you call home?
Well, when I lived there was only the Adrian and a church, and now there's a bar.
Mm-hmm.
And I always said that one half of the railroad tracks is related and the other half is related. So 50 people.
So it's very much like a West Side Story, like what's like two halves. Yes. Is there one half? Were you on the right side or the wrong side of the tracks? Was that a thing?
Oh, back then I was definitely on the right side. Like I kind of towed the line.
Okay, so 50 people.
Yeah.
50 people. Yeah, in the middle of North Dakota.
Yep. I grew up a dairy farmer's daughter, milked cows, had registered Holsteins, showed all over kind of the state and tri-state area.
Yep. So how did you get into floral? Like what was that start like?
4-H.
Okay.
Yep. I picked
right?
Yep. Picked wildflowers in the pasture and took them to the county fair, and then Mom had a garden, did that too. But she was really a big push in 4-H, and then she owned her own business. So she had a cabin on our place where she had an occasional shop and then put a little restaurant eatery in it too.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I was like, I mean, it's in my genes. Entrepreneur, small business is in my genes.
Yep. And in your history, like you were steeped in it, even if, That's super interesting. Okay, so just because I think it's worth asking, you didn't have or did have any formal, like, this is how to do floral arranging?
No.
None.
Nope.
What made you feel like you could do it?
One thing about me is I think I can do anything.
Hey, you know what? That's not a skill that I dislike in anybody. Honestly, like I just think it's interesting because, again, being from a small town, I think a lot of times one of the things we struggle with is that who do you think you are feeling, right? And so I think it can hold people back from even starting things that they might have a natural gift and inclination to do something. Like floral arranging is one of those things. I think there are people that just have a knack for it. Yes. Clearly you did.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And my mom, like, she was always so good about saying, you can do it. We could do it this way. She had all the ideas. And then that just like sealed the deal on the confidence.
Yeah.
I think.
I love that. I love that you were raised by a person that was like creative and innovative in a way that was like around problem solving, right? Or just like there's a bunch of avenues that you could take instead of being like, this is the only way to do it, or this is the way we've always done it, right? Yes. So you probably had, I don't want to say a head start, but you were raised in an environment where like possibility just abounded.
Oh, 100%.
Is that true? Does that feel true?
Yes. Like my dad, you think of dairy farmer, and I don't knock anybody, but we took it to the next level. We had registered Holsteins. Like they bought a heifer sight unseen for $3,000 back in the 90s. That's insane. And then we showed her all over the US, I guess. And so like that kind of risk taking was just, it was ingrained in me, and it was, I don't know, liberating and powerful. And like, then my dad, we quit milking, but we had a registered Holstein sale at our farm. So like, I knew how to present to people and how to showcase and how to bring something more value to something.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are really powerful things to be exposed to and kind of just steeped in from an early age, I think.
Yes. And I always say that like that showing cattle and the presentation that I presented in our, our show string, call it your booth now for what I do, really set me up for the rodeo life and this business that I'm in right now. The presentation of it all, the professionalism, and then the communication skills too. Right.
I love it. Okay. So you can tell me whatever you want about rodeo. What I love about this is that kind of the cowboy culture, and I'm calling it that. I don't even know if that's the right thing to call it, but it's definitely its own thing. And obviously you get even more ingrained in that when you're in rodeo, like doing rodeo. So this is not a world that I'm like, we had animals when I was a kid, but I didn't get into rodeo. So I really know very little about it.
Well, that was me too. Like I thought a cowboy hat and boots, that was a cowboy. Like I was going to marry a cowboy. Yes, I had horses growing up. We had a rodeo on my grandpa's land and a horse show club that my parents started and were a part of. But I wanted to marry a cowboy, which I thought was the hat and the boots, right? That was it. I married the real deal.
Yeah.
The real deal. Like it was horses, trading horses, riding, breaking horses. It was the rodeo cows and breeding rodeo stock and then bucking bulls and bucking horses and producing them all over North Dakota and Minnesota and South Dakota. And then we went on to like buck them all over the U.S.
So when you say buck them, you're saying actually ride them?
I did, but
did you really?
Another topic. Yeah.
See, like again, like I'm asking, like I'm telling you, Tessa, you could not be sitting across from like a dumber human when it comes to this whole thing. So like that's what's really interesting is I'll be honest with you, like it never actually even occurred to me that you have to breed animals to do that. But of course you do. Like, as you're saying it, you're like, oh, so we brought, and I was like, oh, in my brain, like, oh, well, of course that's a thing that somebody has to do, and how niche of a part of even raising cattle specifically or horses that is. So that's really interesting.
Yes, and it was very risky, and it didn't work out.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
know?
so why not? Why didn't it work out?
We didn't have the kind of numbers, and then like you're wanting bulls.
Yeah.
Well, then you get heifers all that year, or whatever it takes 3 to 4 years to develop them
Yep.
and to get them bucking, and then all of a sudden they don't buck. They don't buck anymore. So it's so much easier. Kelly said, "Bulls are born every single day, Tessa. Let's just go buy them and sell the cows."
Yeah.
And so
right.
then we started doing that and going to Texas every spring to buy bulls, younger
Okay.
bulls.
Yep. Yeah. It's definitely even cattle ranching in general. It's just it is not a world that I didn't grow up in it. You know.
Yeah.
So it's a whole thing. And so I also love though that you you were kind of thrust into it. Like you were like, I thought I was just getting the hat and the boots. And you're like,
Yes.
so this is what we're doing.
Yes.
So how did you roll through that? Just the way you roll through everything? Like, okay, well, I can figure this out.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
and was there anything about it that you were like, I don't want to do this? Or what, were you just kind of all in and it was like, pretty like eyes wide open, we're going to do this.
Yes.
And there wasn't a lot of hesitation?
Yes, and I took it very, my parents worked together all the time, played
Okay,
together.
so you
worked
had that
hard, played
example
hard.
too.
Yes.
Yep.
So I knew that my role was a supportive wife, and I was going to take that on, full on, whether it is sorting the bulls, driving all night from Stephenville, Texas, or sorting the bulls at a rodeo. And we contracted, or if it was being the secretary at a rodeo. Like I was all in 100%. And then I kind of shifted my weight or shifted myself away from the flower shop. Like weddings and rodeos happen on weekends.
Right.
You don't know when a funeral happens.
Correct.
So I wanted to spend more time. No, I wanted to spend my time with my husband, and I didn't want to keep waving goodbye as he headed down the road to the next rodeo.
Sure.
So then I closed my flower shop, or sold the building. And closed
Was that a hard decision?
No.
Okay.
Nope. It had been lingering for a couple of years.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, that's good. So what about kind of exiting the rodeo profession? Was that a hard decision?
It was the same thing, kind of lingered
Okay.
for a little bit. We definitely had some signs where we should have gotten out a little bit earlier. We did the things that we wanted to do. Like we hauled bulls to Las Vegas to the PBR World Finals and to the NFR. So we did those things. They didn't, not that they weren't grand, because they were, but it was just really hard and really to the grindstone. And you don't make a lot of money taking one bull. You
Right.
make a lot of money taking a semi-load of bulls.
Yep.
So, yep, my husband got hurt at a rodeo at an event that I was producing at the Winter Show, and he couldn't recover, and he was our pickup man. And so we walked away, slammed the door.
Yeah. I love that you didn't even just like nudge it shut. You slammed it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I just think, okay, I think the arc of this story is interesting for a lot of reasons, but let's keep going and into Wildflowers 2.0.
Yes.
Right? Because was it called Wildflowers? It was called Wildflowers before?
Yep.
As well? Right.
Yep.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yep.
So what does your business look like today? Like, how about this? When you got out of rodeo, because how long ago was that, Tessa? Like
2021.
I was going to say it was just a handful of years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So when you got back into it, what were you like, were there any things that you were like, this is going to be different? This time around, it's different.
And that just hit me just probably 12 months, 18 months ago. Then
Okay.
I really grabbed onto the reins and like, I am in charge. This is what I'm going to do. I'm done. Well, Kelly has a full-time job where he goes to a lot of purebred bull sales. So he's gone January, February, March, April, for the most part, like all the time.
And you're not with him?
No.
Okay.
And I'm at home calving out cows. And I'm like tethered down to I call it ranch arrest is what I call it, because I can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So we
and I can't, that doesn't, I right away in my soul was like, ew.
Yes.
That's what I did internally, because please don't arrest me and make me be anywhere.
Yes.
So, but I sense that in you too. So, okay. So was that part of the revelation that you had of like what needed to shift in your business?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So keep going. Because
Because when I get tired and when I get stressed out, I kind of get a little snarky and I get sarcastic. So that's where Ranch Arrest came from.
I like it.
And so, I mean, I love taking care of the cattle, but then there was one winter where, I mean, yeah, there was a lot of snow to move, and he makes it look easy. It is not easy to move snow.
Right.
And then everybody else's opinions are in on your life, and, you know, are you okay? And, well, oh gosh, maybe I'm not okay. Maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was or doing as well. So I kind of like, okay, Kelly, let's sell these cows because it is feeling like arrest.
Yeah, it's feeling like I am locked down. And
Yes.
even the word tethered, like, oh,
Yes.
you know, I don't like to be tethered to things.
And I
Or at
was
least
married to
very
the road.
Minimal
Yes.
tetherings, please. You know? Yeah.
I just committed to this bracelet today. Like, that was a big thing.
Permanent jewelry, guys. We don't know what we're going to do. I have one too, so we'll see. Anyway.
Yes.
So yeah. Okay, so you have these almost 4 months out of the year.
Yes.
Okay, so then what was different? Because also it wasn't a storefront.
Nope, I'm an occasional shop, and then I host a few events. There was one spring where I did a show in Fargo, and we're calving out bred heifers. That's a big deal. And you don't want to go too far because you don't know what's going to happen. Is it going to love the calf, not love the calf, hate the calf, be a mom, whatnot? So we were juggling a show in Fargo and calving at the same time, and there was snow. I think it was a snowstorm too. And I was just like, I can't do both. So, okay, am I going to put my business to the side again, because it has been for the rodeo life, or can we please sell these cows? So then we sold 50 head this spring. We agreed to.
Wow.
Yeah. And I thought we'd have a lot more time to do things, but it's not the doing things, it's the refocusing I got to do with my business. And now looking forward to 2026 there's a lot that I'm going to put forward now that I can. There's no longer Ranch Arrest.
Yeah, I think this is so, you and I had chatted a bit throughout the day. So I want to bring some of those things we talked about forward. I think, so it would be really easy from an outsider's perspective to judge any leaving of anything or switching focus as like giving up or, you know, air quote, failing, you know, and then wrestling with that and maybe even some of your own self-doubt, right? And how did you, has that been true for you? Have you felt rumblings of that even within yourself or from others? I really want to ask some questions about how you and Kelly navigate this, because it sounds, I feel too like I have a spouse that I have several times in our marriage. We've been married a long time, and I've come to him and been like, I need to quit this thing because it's ruining my soul. And I basically have to be like, yeah, I get it. We'll have less money right now, but I need you to be on board. And for the most part, he hasn't, you know, of course, and again, like, I didn't really give him a choice. Yeah, so it's not like he would ever say, well, you have to. Yeah. But I think that's hard. I think some of those things have been hard for us to navigate when I really truly need to quit something or shift something, and there's an actual impact to our family because of it. And I feel like that sounds like that's true in your story too. Like giving up, selling 50 head of cattle is not a small thing.
Right.
So yeah, so any of that, whether it's the doubts, and then maybe even just, did Kelly have doubts? If he did, what brought him around? Yes.
He was always on board for the flower shop, but it was my business, you know. I mean, he'd help, but it was definitely mine. I had a lot of outside chatter of when I left that, like, what are you going to do? Nobody really understood that. Well, I felt like people wanted to look inside my finances, and I was very insulted by that. Like, what are you going to do after the flower shop? And I just wanted to have a marriage. I had watched too many people divorce, and I wanted to spend our time together, and I was not headed down that road.
Right.
Then when I built a building at my farm and did some occasional sales. He's always been very helpful and very supportive of that also. Not sure where I was going with this, but...
Yeah, no, you're good. I also think, by the way, like you said at the beginning, he was always really supportive of the shop. I think that's because, and not just him, but like anybody around you, especially in a small community, they're like, we get this. Like, it's a storefront where I can walk in and be there and see the goods and buy the goods. Even switching to an occasional situation had to be kind of different for people to understand.
Yes, it was.
Those shifts are interesting, right? And I think it's a good trend. It's a smart thing to do for lots of reasons.
And that's a good point, because I had to prove to myself, like, I'm going to hammer out and I'm going to be open all the time and I'm going to make all this money and I can make this work and I'm going to show everybody. Then I got burnt out. And then I was like, I got to roll this back. But I got to convince Kelly. I didn't always have to convince Kelly. He just, whatever you think, Tessa, is what you're going to go with.
Right.
You know, but it was like, there's a guilt in me, and it takes, like, I have to present this to him so that it's okay in my mind. But really, he's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, and like, you spend all this time thinking about how you're going to say this to him, and he's just kind of like, yeah, great.
Yes.
Do it that way then.
Yep, exactly. And he's never felt like I should, be married to the cows. He said, well, we'll just put them to a feedlot. Well, then I kind of put like, oh, well, I can handle it. I can do it, type of thing, because back to that, I think I can do anything type of deal.
Right. Well, it's just seriously, it sounds like, and I can't wait to get into like what this year has really felt like for you, because it's really shifted a lot. I know.
Yes.
But I think you're talking about just a really clear reality of what building a life with business very intertwined in it feels like and looks like. Yes. And I honestly think that not everybody does that. Like, some people, again, like, we need all kinds of people, so it's great. Like, some people have jobs and it's like, that's a separate thing. I'm not like that. I'm not wired like that. I think about this building, I think about this work, I think about the people all the time. And as much as I can, like, weave, like, my daughter was here today. Now, she was fairly flighty in her tasks. Like, she really didn't stay and help a whole lot. But, like, my kids are in and out of our business even, right? So yes. I have a much more mixed up, commingled existence.
Right.
And I feel like it sounds like your story feels a lot like that.
That is exactly. We don't have the kids, but we have the other extra businesses or the other extra responsibilities, or what we're, dedicated to.
Yeah. There's a lot of negotiation in that, I guess, is my point. Yeah. It's just different. It's a lot of different conversations. So, okay. So this spring you sold 50 head of cattle, and what did that free up for you? And then what happened? Like, what made 2025 a pivotal year aside from that? Because that had to be kind of a trigger to a lot of it.
It was. And when you say, like, moving on and shifting, like Kelly said, Tessa, let's remember we're traders. So let's sell these cows when they're high and let's cash in and take some pressure off, right? And so that was in June. And then all summer long, I just created inventory for the fall shows. But backing up to like February, I believe it was, I hee-hawed about applying for this show in Washington. And I presented it to Kelly and I said, okay, this is what I'm thinking of doing.
And so when you say show, by the way, round this out for our listeners. Like, what kind of a show are we talking about?
4,000 people, 100 booths.
Like a big vendor.
Yes.
Show.
But with a live concert too, and fashion show out in a hayfield.
Okay.
In nowhere, Washington.
So, okay, you said it was Kelly's idea?
Nope, it was mine, but I brought it to him.
Oh, you brought it to him. Okay, how did this get on your radar?
A podcast.
Okay.
And then I followed her on Instagram for a few years. And I was like,
Who is it?
Jessica Garza. Market in the Mountains.
Market in the Mountains. We want to make sure we tag that in our show notes, just so people can follow it, because it's really cool. Yep. Okay, yeah.
And so I liked her eye for detail and her professionalism. I thought, this is something I want to be a part of. I want to be a part of something bigger than me that I don't have to organize.
Right, because this was the thing. So maybe, again, just for our listeners that don't know you, right, or are in the area, what do you organize every year? Like, what's your thing?
Holiday market in November in Verona at the Bear Creek Lodge. It was a school.
Right, and with roughly how many vendors?
30 some.
Okay, great. Yep. And it's highly curated. I've been to it. So also, I think, did it feel a little bit like you wanted to you wanted to learn. Like you wanted to go from the perspective of like, and just enjoy it a little bit instead of like take some of the weight off. But I'm sure you saw all sorts of things that you were like, oh my God, I want to, whether it's right sizing it for our area or whatever. But yeah, that's how you figure new things out. You've got to get out of your own little echo chamber, right?
And I wanted to focus on retail.
Yeah, cool.
I really wanted to dive deep into my creativity, and it's called a luxury cowgirl market, luxury Western market. Well, that's me. Like,
yeah, right.
So I could not wait to do that. So I presented that idea to Kelly, and then he like penciled it all out. He's like, "This is your expenses. This is how far it is." And I said, "We used to haul bulls all over the U.S. for $400 an out. Like, let's not pencil this too hard." And he told me, he goes, "Tessa, we were young and dumb then." I said, "Well, then I'm looking for a vacation." And I signed up. And it was a huge application process, which I so respected the way she did it. And I had to pitch it to her, like, what was I going to bring to the table? And I told her I'd been doing this for 20-some years. Like, I'm on both sides of it, so I know the presentation of being a professional booth. And I was accepted, which she turns down probably 100 booths, something like that.
Yeah, Tessa, that's incredible.
Yeah. Yep. So I was jacked, and then I waited a day to tell Kelly that that's what we were doing.
How did he handle it once? Because I'm sure he had to be super stoked for you too.
Yes.
Because it was such a competitive process.
Yes. Yep. And I heard him telling people about it too. So that's
that's cool.
like
That's fun.
seal deal.
Yeah, that's like a little, like the pride. Yes. Like your pride is showing. Oh, don't tell anybody. Yeah, I love it. That's great. Okay, so there again, I think like if I think about the people listening to this, I think not enough people take swings like that. And what I mean by that is like following somebody, engaging with somebody that you really admire on social media. Why not then pursue even connecting with them or reaching out to them, like whatever. I just think that's what makes doing business from a super small town possible. Yes. Not only one possible, but two fun.
Yes.
Right? Like we have such a cool ability to connect with people everywhere if we're paying attention, we're open to it.
It keeps the excitement in it.
Yeah, for sure.
And the vendors that I met were just amazing. And they're like, "You got to come to this one show in Pendleton." And I said, that producer's been asking me for a couple of years. So yes, it was so, like I told Kelly, it lit a fire in me that has not been in me for so long.
That's so awesome. So what are you most, like, what were the things that you felt like, what's lit in you now? Like, I want to explore those things. Like, what do you feel on fire for that this kind of sparked?
Just the product, like promoting the product beforehand. I blew up on Instagram, and I saw this. I had to Google if I went viral or not.
Yeah, like if it was actually enough of a response, and it absolutely was, right?
It was, and I have shipped cowhide wreaths all over the U.S. to like 11 states, and now I have orders for these longhorns, and actually have a high-end furniture store in Fort Worth. If we can make it work, I'm going to put them in her store too.
So, okay. I got to tell you from a logistics standpoint, when because I was following your post, Kash and I talk about it. Again, our chamber director, she's my coworker, right? So we talk about stuff all the time. I was just like, I don't get it. Like, where does she source the horns from? So that was a question. That's just a nerdy question I have just about how you do this. Like, how many orders can you reasonably fill? I mean,
endless. Endless right now. I get them out of Texas. My father-in-law gave me the very first ones that I ever did probably 10 years ago. And I mean, actually my sister-in-law has one in her house, and I'm like, give it to me, let me redo it. But yeah, I've been doing it for that many years, but I think it was like the picture. It was a really well done photograph. It was Kelly's idea.
But it also wasn't, let's just be, again, for like the hope for people listening to this kind of thing. It's not like you hired a professional photographer to take it. You just presented it well.
Yes. It was like right before the sun was going to go down, and Kelly came in my shop, him and his two dogs, and I said, I need to take some pictures of these right before it gets too dark. And he said, well, let's put them on the trailer, the horse trailer. I was
Yeah,
like,
it looks so
genius.
right.
Walked over there and I'm like, can you move it a little bit so I can get that golden light? He's like, no. He had no idea what I was talking about, but he moved it. And then we got the golden light, we got the trailer. Yeah, I still can't believe what happened. There was one business out of Texas. They're like the first family of rodeo is what I call them. And they have a clothing line. She commented on it and started following me. And then I was like, whoa. Then I kind of got like the shivers.
Yeah, that I just think it's really, really cool. So, okay, so that's one like product promotion ahead of time. What else? What else do you think you have in store for 2026? Like,
well, Kelly got to see that event and how it was put up in the middle
Washington.
of a field. Yeah.
Yeah, he came along. Yeah.
Yep, in a hayfield. He actually announced their fashion show for them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I told her, I said, if you need an auctioneer, like I'm married to a hell of an auctioneer, if you need him for like a benefit or anything, she said, how is he about announcing fashion shows? I was like, I'll check.
He's really good at it.
Exactly.
Oh, he's skilled. Like,
yes. So now I have him doing the one in Verona.
Well, yeah,
But,
yes.
So yeah, for him to see that, because, I'll pitch him ideas and he doesn't always listen or always understand all
Fully
of that.
connect it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because I had done a Wildflowers gather in Adrian a few years ago at their bar in the backyard. And I've always had that idea to go do this in my parents' pasture. But for him to see it, then he was like, oh, okay, I get what you're doing. I get what you're thinking. That was the biggest thing, kind of a seal of a deal. That actually fell on Savaka weekend, so I could have set up across my yard.
Okay. So again, for people listening, I don't know what that all stands for exactly, but it's a big arts and crafts association in a town with a state park in it. How many miles from you is that?
24.
Yeah. So in the backyard, and it's a huge vendor show.
Yep.
And honestly, most people would probably expect you to be there.
Right, or be open at my farm.
Right.
Whichever. Yes.
Right.
Yep. So, I mean...
So did it feel risky to not be there that weekend, or were you just like, we're going?
Yeah, I didn't even think about it.
Did other people think about it?
Yes, they asked me. Yep.
Yeah.
And why Washington State? Yeah, I'm going west, not east. But yes. Mm-hmm. And why are you going there? And I said, because I want to. I just want to.
The Growing Small Towns show is recorded locally at the Growing Small Towns podcast studio located in Oaks, North Dakota. It's produced by Pheasant Canteen Studio in Aberdeen, South Dakota, with marketing support from Cassidy Johnston in Canyon City, Colorado. Our intro music was created and produced exclusively for Growing Small Towns by James Bergman, singer and songwriter from Fargo, North Dakota. Local and small. It's what we support, and it's who we love. Get your community a shout out on the podcast. Call 701-203-3337 and share your small town success that you just don't feel is being celebrated quite enough, and let us shout you out. You can also share your biggest people challenge, and we'll dedicate an episode to offering ideas to help. Hell, you can basically tell us anything, and we'll do what we can to answer. We can't wait to hear from you.
You know the hardest part about community work? It's not the funding or the planning, it's the people stuff. The burnout, the resistance to change, the we've always done it this way people. And that's why we started the Growing Small Towns Club, a place where community doers and dreamers can bring their toughest challenges, share what's working, and feel a little less alone. It's part think tank, part pep talk, and 100% heart. Join us for just $30 a month at growingsmalltowns.org/club, because communities thrive when their people do.
Well, okay, so let's get into this, because I think this is something that we were both kind of talking about earlier. How is it, and how do you feel about trying to stay somewhat almost truthful or honest about what a big deal all of this is, when sometimes we're actually dealing with people that maybe don't have no frame of reference on it, right? Like even Kelly needed to come with you to really see and get what it was that you had been talking about. Because does it ever feel like your ideas seem weird and out there for where you're at, and yet you have to constantly stay somehow grounded in the truth that no, it's really not that crazy, and I've seen it other places? Like that's such a, I think it's hard to be somebody that's almost known for what you do differently outside of your community than you might be by your community. Does that make sense?
Yes, 100%. And it also goes down to my product too. Like I'm a cowgirl. I love the Western lifestyle. I'm not on the trend. I was there before and I'll be there after the trend. So the luxury Western is really what I wanted to do. I tell everybody I am a cowgirl on the southeast flatland farming area of North Dakota. So I feel like an outsider there too. Like the cowboy way of life in the farming community of southeast North Dakota.
Sure.
So that was one, kind of red flag or magnet to that show, was I could dive deep into what I absolutely love, what's in my home, what I live, and do it there. I do it in Junk Fest in Carrington, and it works. And I humbly say this, but I have a line that is hours long. And so I was excited to go somewhere where, it sounds weird, but where nobody knew me.
Right.
Yep. I wanted to try and expand my clientele and my audience. And that was the goal of that.
And you feel like you accomplished that?
So far, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just interesting. And so how do you stay motivated, inspired, on fire? Like who do you talk to? Who do you network with? What does that look like for you?
I'm in an online group, so like I paid a membership to get some friends. And it has been,
You know what?
Yes.
Yep. It makes total sense to me.
Yep. It has returned huge dividends. And then they have like a little business sector of it. I get a lot of my inspiration just from life and nature. I'm a big like hiker, go outside. And that's and then like the Western lifestyle and capitalizing on the trend. I mean, I'll always do it, but now I can definitely capitalize on it.
Yeah, it's kind of fun, right? Like there's the idea that it's a trend and it's actually just your lifestyle. Does that ever agitate you?
No, not really. And maybe if I see a straw hat worn in December at a concert, yeah. But
yeah, I know. Seriously, like I'm asking as an outsider to this culture in the sense that like, I joke all the time. I'm like, I have a really nice pair of cowboy boots and like Kasha, like I was like, well, how are these? She's like, they're great. Cause like Kasha's just, again, we were talking about the fashion that exists in this culture. Like I don't have it. I don't do it. So like to me, every time I even put on cowboy boots, I just feel slightly like a poser.
Oh no, we welcome everybody in.
Do you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But don't wear your straw hat in December in North Dakota.
Yeah. Okay.
Even if you're at a concert.
Are there any other tips that those of us like, because at what point are we co-opting it and like appropriating it? I'm serious. Like that sounds really dumb, but like at what point are people like, are you that precious about it? You don't seem like you probably are.
No, I'm not. No, put on the highest boots, the ones that go right up to your knee, and like, no, wear the fringe. Like I wore an outfit out in Washington, and these girls were like, whoa, like that is so NFR fashion. And then a man down the aisle, another vendor, he was with his wife, he goes, where'd you get that jacket? And here it was a Galloway hide vest that my aunt made back in the 60s or 70s.
Oh, that's fun.
I told the lady, I said, I dress for conversations. I've learned that if you wear something that's, I don't know, a little bit out there, but I always dress like chic, try to be, but it starts so many conversations.
Oh,
so
I'm sure.
Wear it.
I feel like that's not, I don't know. I've always felt just kind of a like, ooh, it scares me.
Really? No.
Yeah.
No, put on the boots. Just don't wear spurs with them.
No problem. No problem there. I love that. Or there's like, I don't know, it's just so interesting, right? Like so I love that I love that about you. That's great. Cause actually I will just say this, for as great as you look all the time, like every time I've ever seen you, you just look fantastic. And of course, because I see you in public, I suppose I could come to the farm and you'd be like, come on to the farm. And then you'll see me but the way you always look is you look just like chic is a word I would use to describe you. You are one of the least pretentious people I've ever like just met. Yeah, right. So this tracks that you would be like, what? No, just do it. It's there's pretentious people in every culture, not just cowboy culture. But okay, so back to like, so Kelly kind of sees the light when he's out there with you. By see the light, I just mean kind of catches your vision in a way. Do you ever feel like you're on an island, or do you struggle with that at all as a really creative business person in a really small place?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And like my mom is an entrepreneur, so I can confide in her.
Yeah.
Everybody else,
you can confide in me because I'm right here. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, for real.
But everybody else, has that 9-to-5 job. They don't understand that I can't go out for supper tonight because I have a show 2 weeks down the road. Like that doesn't make much sense. But I work around the clock. Like if I get visitors in my shop, I'm like, oh, not to be mean or anything, and I love visiting, but my hours are not 9 to 5.
Right.
And I just want to scream that from the rooftops. Like I work all the time, getting ready for 2 shows in September. My biggest show of the year, Junk Fest, and then 2 weeks later, that show in Washington.
I can't even imagine.
I slept 6 hours and I worked the rest. That is it. Mm-hmm. And I loved it. I mean, I can't do it for that long, but I absolutely love it.
So what's on the horizon?
Oh boy.
What's like an idea that's ready enough to be shared publicly? Because I get that so much of it is like there's probably lots of stuff cooking that you're not ready to share. But is there anything like, what are you most looking forward to? And like in the coming year, like based on everything you've learned, because September was not that long ago.
Right.
It's November 8th today. So whenever we end up airing this, right. But it's like, not that those are new revelations, but it really cemented, I would guess, some really clear things that you want to do or pursue.
Yes. And I'd say first and foremost, I'd like to go back there to Washington. Then I would like to go to Pendleton, Oregon. She's right across, this vendor show is right across the street from the rodeo. And it's like 6-7 days, something like that. So I'd like to do that. I don't know if I can pan all this or make this all work. I'd love, I don't know if this is on the 2026 calendar, but I'd love to be a vendor at Art of the Cowgirl in Arizona. My parents go down there. I would love to be able to get enough inventory for that. I mean, you wanted me to keep going? Like, I'd love to wholesale, so I could create. Kelly has told me that, what is it? We're 48. We'll be 48 years old. So he goes, she has 2 more years, and then I'm done hauling around and hauling her junk around. He's joking, but he I mean, if you start saying it, then it's going to be true, right?
Right.
And so that I would love to do the wholesale then, work that in. I still want to go places and I want to do big shows. So Kelly says, I mean, I have to get a boyfriend to do that.
I know. I heard you say that to these women. He's like, he's got to be, let me see if I can remember this. He's got to be ugly.
Yes.
And like own a trailer. Is that what he said?
I have the trailer, but he has to like to drive.
Like, oh yeah, it has to like to drive. It has to be ugly and likes to drive.
And load things.
Yeah.
Pick up things and set them down.
So like a strong, ugly man.
Yes.
With the pickup.
Yes. So he can stay home, but I still come home to him because he's not ugly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's super funny. But there's also realities to that. Yes. And I think the other thing too is like, you're just going to continue to evolve. Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't even make sense to be like 2 years from now, where are you going to be? Like, I don't ask people like you that question even because it's more just like, what's exciting you now? Because that's what's going to continue to fuel you. You'll evolve. Your excitement will shift and evolve, and you'll come up with something entirely new too.
Absolutely. Thanksgiving weekend, should I be open in my shop? Should I get ready and be open in my shop like it's not that big, probably 400 square feet. Or should I decorate my home and open up my home and have that be open? That's what I'm really leaning towards. I just have to connect all the dots.
Yeah, but that's like a fun and unique way to showcase what you do.
Yes. And my home is in a magazine, and the magazine's dropping this week, I think. Yes. It's a Canadian
Was
magazine.
that something you pursued, or they found you,
No,
or
I
what
did.
happened?
I did.
Okay.
I pitched it to them. And
Oh,
that's
good for you.
That's one thing with 2025 has brought me, like, I am looking for it. I'm not waiting for anything to happen.
Good
I'm
for
making it
you.
happen.
Again, huge lesson. Huge lesson for people listening to this, especially if you have a business. Right? Like, where do you want to be? Who do you want to be affiliated with?
Yep.
And just start making those connections. Like, I think that's one of the coolest things about just like the time that we live in, is that everybody is connected. And sometimes this whole idea of like 7 degrees of separation, I don't know if it's 7, but you can get places pretty quickly and it's just that proactivity too. I think there's an actual energy of attraction that happens. Like, I'm not
Yes.
literally talking about
Right.
manifesting, but I think there's something truly palpable. Things shift, the universe conspires in our favor, but it's saying, what do I want? What am I willing to do? And then putting yourself out there.
I learned a few years ago that to ask the question, they can say yes or they can say no.
Right.
And I have to be happy with both sides of the answer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started doing that. And it's just changed everything.
Yeah, it's so cool. Do you feel like there's anybody in your life that treats your business as like this cute little thing that you do?
For
Like your
years.
cute little crafty thing?
Yes.
Like, oh, you and your crafts.
That's
Is that a thing?
Yes, it is. It is. It is very hard for me to own that I'm an artist, because I'm like, I just tell people, like, I work at the sale barn a few months out of the year too. And they're like, what are you doing now? If you're quitting here, because I'm done October 30th, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, the easiest to tell you is I have a craft business. Oh, like, it's a man. So I'm just like, that's easiest. But no, it's so much more than that. And yes, people have definitely called it that, and it has annoyed me in the past. Or, you should get a job, Tessa. There's a job opening up here. Like, you should do this, you should do that. And that really burned me. But I'm not going to lie. I do have that question all the time. I do read the help wanted ads. I'm like, oh, this isn't going to pan out. Like, is this really for reals? And if I just stick to it and stop putting it on the back burner, we're all going to be so much happier in my house.
100%. And I just think I asked that question because we were kind of talking too about how I think truly when anything is done in an unconventional way, in a smaller community in particular, like you're actually doing something in a way that maybe a lot of people haven't ever seen before. So then I think we talked too about just that there's a general lack of curiosity, right? That instead of being curious, it's easier just to judge it. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying people are even being mean to you, but
Right.
It's hard to stand in the middle of that and like own your space and own your worth. I think that's a really hard thing.
Yes, because I do question it myself.
Sure.
Well, on the quiet
of course
times.
you do.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Anybody that owns a business questions their worth, if they're capable, if they're doing the right thing, if they should just get a job.
Yes.
The ups and downs of that are just part of the deal.
Yes.
And then you have these, it is so hard to explain to somebody that's not wired for this kind of thing, right? Like what it feels like to be on top of the world and feeling like the fullest, most beautiful, bright, shiny version of yourself 1 minute to crashing down to having every doubt imaginable plaguing your brain and your heart the next minute.
Yes. I was just going to ask, like, are you ever at that point?
I don't know how, I haven't landed there yet.
Right.
I'll just say that, like for me and what I'm doing, no.
Yes. Yep.
I think part of it is just really letting yourself, and this is just what I think, right? Like this is no hard and fast rules or advice, which I just don't know that there is. I think it's really letting yourself soak it in when you have those moments where everything just feels, when you really feel like you,
Yes.
and you're acting, performing, doing whatever, creating,
Yeah.
And you're just like, this is what I was created for.
Yes. Yes.
It is the most amazing thing imaginable. And so even though, and I'm just saying this for me, and this is why I get so passionate about bringing people that have businesses on this show, because it just, like, for me, I will take those hard times for those moments of magic every day over like a meh
Yes.
existence.
Yes.
Where like I'm making good money working for somebody else, but I never get to feel that.
Yes.
Like I'll take the lows if that's what the highs feel like.
Yes. Yes.
It's hard, but those moments where I feel like I'm literally doing exactly what I was put on the earth to do.
Mm-hmm.
And my business has given me that opportunity. For me, there's just like nothing better.
Yes. That for a few years there, like when we were in rodeo and it was kind of getting a little stale, or things were getting a little stale, like, or maybe, and I don't say stale, I mean like way too busy, type of deal. So I wasn't focused on my business. So this is a great example of like the highs, the lows. I was making towels, sewing fabric on towels, right? Straight lines, easy, like 100 at a time. I was bringing it like everybody needs a towel, right? That is the most ridiculous, like mindless, uncreative thing to do. And one day I was like, I don't want to sell towels anymore. I am so much better than towels.
Yep.
Like, yeah, it was bringing in money because everybody needs them. Everybody wants to gift them. But it was bottom end of my creativity.
Right.
And so then I'm like, I'm going to get a little risky here and let's dive into what I love to do.
Yep.
And either they're going to love it or they're going to hate it, but at least I've tried to do it.
Right. Well, and I think that's what will continue to guide you, as you go. Cause like you've seen a lot of cool moments of growth and kind of inspiration, right? And things that have really sparked for you this year. That's going to continue. Yeah. And you may have a moment where you feel about the thing you're doing right now, like you did about the towels. Yeah. And that doesn't mean at all that you're failing or that you're not thinking it through. As a really creative person, I'm really curious about this. Do you ever feel like you're sacrificing or somehow you're prioritizing creativity over like good business sense? That there's this like frame on you that you're just like not flighty. I don't want to judge it, but do you ever feel that way? Like because you're pursuing something that's creative and you're willing to follow your spark, that also then must just mean, or it's somehow you're perceived as a less serious business person?
I painted mustaches on wood. And I sold them. So yes, I do have those ideas. And whether it's like producing a show and bringing a rusted trailer for a photo op, like that's what I'm doing for next weekend.
Right.
Like who would do that? Yes, I have those ideas and I'm just like, but it fills me. It is my vision. It is my brand.
Yeah. Well, you kind of alluded to this earlier. You said that people kind of wanted to peek into your finances. And that's kind of what I'm talking about, right? There's just that kind of, it feels like judgment of like, she can't possibly be making it.
Right. Yes. I get that from all the time. And
that's hard to deal with. I think we have to have a place to take that feels safe to do so. So that's kind of what your coffee group, this group that you're a part of, does for you, right? Like,
yeah, they're all small business owners, and so we all get it. We all get the struggles of living rural too.
Yeah.
One thing I was going to say is about the peeking into the finances. Like, now I just want to say, I have a sugar daddy. Like, you get to the point where you just I know who I am,
right?
And if you want to cast judgment on me, okay. Then, I'm married to a sugar daddy and I'm good.
Yeah. You said it. You actually said this earlier, like the palatable answer instead of the real one. And I don't think that's selling out, by the way. I just want to say this because I've done that so many times. So kind of like, well, what now? And what next?
Yes.
And then I say some version of it that I think they'll either get or ask less questions. Because you can kind of tell when people are, there's a difference between the way I'm asking you questions and the questions that you get maybe on the street. You know what I mean? Where it's not rooted in actual curiosity. It's just kind of like, it's nosiness. You can actually sniff that out, right? The difference between somebody that's asking because they actually care and somebody that's asking because they're nosy about what's going on in your life.
And then they're going to get that snarky,
sarcastic they're going to get that
answer,
well, here's the answer. Here's the answer that I'm giving you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I will dive deep and I will tell you every little detail that I'm super excited about. But yeah, you can figure that out.
I know. I feel a little bit like that's a takeaway for everybody listening. Like if you really don't understand something and you want to know, maybe take the route of asking a genuine question.
100%.
Right? If you find yourself in a group of people judging something that you don't know something about, instead, go to the person and say, hey, I really want to know more about what you're doing. And more than likely that person will tell you. You know what I mean? They'll get into it with you. It's just wild. And navigating it sometimes, I think.
Yes, and that triggers the idea of like all these young girls that are getting married and all have their own businesses. You know, I just want to like give them a hug and grab their hand and say, you're going to make it. No matter what anybody says to you, no matter who thinks you should fit into this little box of a 9 to 5, it's secure, it's the life or the health insurance. Like, no, go for what makes you passionate. Then you are a great wife standing next to your husband.
Right. Amen. I feel that to my core. And, and I feel like I do end up working with a lot of young women more than young men, which makes sense, I think, in terms of just, they're more aligned with who I am. Right. But I do too. I feel that same way. Like if you want a 9 to 5 job, please go ahead and pursue that because we need those. But don't this whole, I mean, I can think of a handful of women that are in their 20s that have gotten married and they're young, right? And they've gotten lots of feedback, especially like even from in-laws. You know, like, it's kind of like that's a cute little business, but when are you going to get a big girl job?
Right. With insurance.
Right. And you just want to be like, I can pay for my insurance. Thank you very much. Like, there's just a way to make this work for people. Yeah. And it's that negotiation, I think, between you and your spouse or whoever's in your family that's a part of that decision making. You have to negotiate it.
Absolutely.
But it's possible. And I love this so much because like the meh and just kind of like status quo thing that we all could opt into, right? Because like you're certainly employable. I'm employable. If I wanted to just burn all this down and not literally, but just quit, I could. And I do have days, friends, where I'm like, oh my God, should I just, maybe I just need a boss. Like a better boss than me.
Right. And
I mean, I feel that way a lot, but I'm telling you, like, I know myself enough to know that that feeling of just complete alignment with my work and who I think I was created to be. It's a thing that it's almost like a drug. It's so good.
100%. Yes. And then, on the other hand, I'm like, I can work anywhere. I can do anything. So you're feeding off of that, and then that's feeding the other side so well.
Tessa, you're so fantastic.
Thank you.
So as we kind of wrap up, like, is there anything you want our audience to know that we haven't talked? Like, is there anything I should be asking you that I haven't asked you?
I don't think so. I think we hit the magazine, we hit holiday show. Yeah.
Where do you how do you want people to engage with you? I mean, you'll share all of your links and stuff, but like
on Wildflowers, and I just got to tell this one story.
Yeah, no, please do.
We were at a rodeo one time when we got into the elevator, and it was in Minot, and this gal looked at me and she goes, "You're the Wildflower, aren't you?"
Aw.
Yeah.
That's cute.
And Kelly, I said yes, and she goes, "I follow you. You're so fun." And now I'm going to tell another story.
Yeah, you're good.
I had a gal message me one time that my humor and what I do really gets her to get up every day. And she was battling cancer.
Holy crap.
I know. And I mean, I could have taken it as pressure, but I was like, no, you're getting me. And I cannot believe that I touched you in that way. Like, I'm just trying to sell my brand. So Wildflowers on the Facebook page, you get the ranch life, you get the creative life, you get the behind the scenes.
Yep.
I mean, Kelly and I are probably a comedy. We should be a comedy show. So, Instagram, same thing. That's Junk and Wildflower.
Yeah. Well, we'll for sure get those links up. I think that's just something too. It's just to remind people not to be afraid of just showing up as your full self.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you don't have to be your full self in your brand. Sometimes people want that separation, but like if you feel called or pulled to do that, like the goal isn't to get, you know, stopped in an elevator and be told that, but the goal is to connect with people.
Yes.
You know, I mean, that's why we do this, is to connect with people, help ourselves, fulfill a purpose, all those things, right? And yeah, you're not just like selling stuff on the internet, Tessa. It's more than that. And for everybody listening to this, your business can be and probably is more than that.
Absolutely. I have to get out and see people and talk to people and, you know, see that I've touched them in a way, either with my product or with my social media.
Yep.
It feeds the soul. It feeds the creativity.
Right.
Definitely.
Well, and again, like you're in a really small town. You know, I'm in a small town. You're in a smaller town, even than that. And that's one of the ways that your world stays big.
True story. Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and it's so, and that's not everybody's thing, but when you're wired that way,
Yeah.
if you're a creative person, fueling that is a really important thing. And it doesn't just happen in a vacuum.
No, it doesn't. And every day I wear coveralls and a stocking cap. So I need to dress up. I need to get out and see more than just the 2 dogs on my place.
Yeah. And, you know, I think you and I, we said this to each other earlier today. It is a lot of work to curate the experience and make sure that you're not in an echo chamber and make sure that you're, you know, it actually is a lot of work. I would never say that it's not. And again, it's just more about, is it worth it? And that's for everybody to decide. But I think very clearly for you, it has been, right?
It has. And there's definitely struggles where I don't want to show up on social media anymore. Or what do I say today? Or I don't have anything, you know, created or to take a picture of. So there's times where it's like,
feels like a lull, right? Yep. Well, you're doing great work. And it's super fun to see somebody take a chance on themselves, take a chance on their work and the way that you have this year. And I just can't wait to see what you do next. It's going to be really fun.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. We hope you loved this episode of the Growing Small Town Show. We encourage you to leave us messages at 701-203-3337. And be sure to subscribe to our newsletter at growingsmalltowns.org. In the meantime, keep doing what you can with what you have right where you are. Your community needs you.
Because we are growing small towns. We are growing small towns. We're right here living our best lives, as crazy as it sounds. But we are growing small towns. Growing small towns, we are growing small towns. We are growing small towns.